gotta say, I love it. This is Tracy Brinkman. I'm your host. This is Success Atlas Tips to Improve Performance series. I'm really, and I say this in all sincerity, it's not just a gimmick to catch your attention. I'm really glad you're back to listen for some more. I mean, today I want to talk to you. It's not Wednesday. I know Wednesday is Winning Attitude Wednesday with the new format for the podcast. But today I want to talk to you about the 5 tudes of your success. These 5 tudes make up your Pentatude. You know, back in 1941, Major General Hugh Patâ Casey designed the Pentagon in 3 days. There's a testament to what can get done when you focus on things. Construction began on the Pentagon a mere 30 days later, and it took about 16 months after that, and to get this wonderful piece of architecture erected. And I think it was about January 15th, 1943 is when it opened up. And obviously this is a now infamous building for many other reasons, some more publicized than others during the tragedies that happened back on 9/11. For those who had never seen the building before, probably saw it a whole lot over the course of the next couple of weeks. The Pentagon is the headquarters for the United States Department of Defense. This is a nerve center for the command and control dedicated to protection of this great nation, the United States, and really all of its interests. And this, I link this and I tell you this quickly little story because literally you have a Pentagon of sorts within yourself. This Pentagon, or Pentatude as you heard me mention it earlier, has a direct impact on your protection, your growth, your health, your wealth, your success, and it's made up of the 5 tudes. And these 5 tudes are multitude, magnitude, latitude, attitude, and of course, gratitude. Now, each one of these really creates the supporting wall of your personal Pentatude. So let's go through them. We'll start with multitude. Now, as we go through our daily lives, we have a multitude of opportunities that present themselves. However, life is full of yin and yang. We also have a multitude of challenges that come along for the ride. So if you spend your time fretting about all the challenges, you're going to end up blotting out the multitude of opportunities. So here's a quick example. If you take a dime, and if you're driving, don't do this right now, but take a dime or some small coin, and I want you to do is I want you to hold it out at arm's length, right? That is your challenge, right? It's small, thin, not very ominous, not very imposing. Start pulling it closer and closer and closer. And I want you to keep looking at it, right? Look at it with that one eye. And as it gets closer and closer, it begins to really suck up all the attention of that eye. It begins to blot out the world around you. And if you get it so close to you and focus on it so much, the edges begin to blur. And you begin to lose where the coin stops and the rest of the world starts. Your challenges are just like this. If you spend so much time fretting and focusing on those challenges, they end up blurring and distorting and even hiding completely the opportunities you have on there. So I want you to focus on your opportunities instead of over-focusing on your challenges. Now, I don't want you to hide from your challenges. I want you to be real and see your challenges and focus on the opportunities to get around those challenges, all right? Now, the next one is magnitude. This one works closely with multitude. So as you go through all those opportunities and challenges, be they in your relationships, in your life, in your business, with your health, you need to magnify the important things. Focus on the multitude and the impact of your core values, your true desires, and what Napoleon Hill called your major definite purpose. What's your success path? What's your success atlas? What's that one magnificent thing you want to accomplish? See, reduce the multitude and the magnitude of the challenges that seem insurmountable. I mean, literally, don't make mountains out of molehills. Take a strategic method of attack on them and a little bit of strategic thinking and some brainstorming techniques, and you can break them down into very passable obstacles. You know what? I think what I'll probably do is make that one of the upcoming blog posts or podcasts for next week is talk to you about a great brainstorming technique that I have taught over the course of the years. Actually, I'll make myself a note to do that. Now, on the other side of the coin, You don't want to let one major win, because if you focus on all the good stuff, you don't want to make that one major win in your success make you think you're set for the rest of your life. I mean, because literally ask any good business person, emphasis on the word good business person, that if they're not growing, they know their business is dying. If you're sitting there while everyone else is moving forward, respectively, you're falling behind. So celebrate your successes, bask in the glow, feel the pride and the joy that it gives you, then sit down and make a plan for your next success. All right? Then we move on to latitude. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your permission to dream. You have the latitude to be everything you want to be, everything you can possibly be, everything you desire to be, you can accomplish any task that you feel the desire to, that you long for inside, as long as it's within the bounds of human decency. And of course, we want to be legal in the process, right? All right, let's be honest, all right? I mean, if you think about it, this is liberating. I mean, this is something that's only given to mankind or humankind, if you want to be politically correct. Because if you think about it, as far as I'm aware, we are the only creatures on this great planet that can choose their destiny. We have the ability to create and mold our destiny. And then guess what? We can go out, we can fulfill it. Yeah, you can. You can figure out what you want to do, and you can go out there and gosh darn well do it, regardless of your color, your creed, your religion, your upbringing, or whatever circumstances that you went through or you're going through right now. If you decide to and take the necessary action to move from where you are to where you want to be, guess what? You can do it. And that brings us right into attitude. And for me, this is the starting point of your journey. Whether you call it your disposition, your manner, temperament, spirit, approach, posture, outlook, or opinion, your attitude is really going to have a major bearing on your level of success. What you've done to this point in life has gotten you to where you are. What your attitude is up to this point has gotten you where you are. And attitude is defined in the dictionary as 1. A personal view of something, an opinion or general feeling about something. Or 2. Bodily posture, a physical posture, either conscious or unconscious, especially while interacting with others. Those are so you can almost equate that attitude, that your attitude, their feelings or moods are going to infect or affect the moods and the feelings of everyone around you. So if you face the world and go out with a cheerful, expectant attitude, to the world and everyone that's in it, then the world and everyone in it is going to know that you expect more from it, and guess what? It's going to perform accordingly. If, on the flip side, back to that yin and yang thing again, if you go out and face the world with negative, grumbly, downtrodden attitude, it's going to know that you expect poor action, no action, small results, if any results from it. And guess what? Yeah, it's going to give you that as well. So remember, the world that you reflect, the world is going to reflect your attitude back to you. It's like what you give out is going to come back tenfold. We've all heard that before. Your attitude to the world is going to determine the attitude of the world back to you. Kind of a cause and effect thing. So you got to remember, the world is a mirror, and ladies and gentlemen, it is often a merciless mirror. All right, of ourselves, our habitual attitudes, all the ill wills that we may be feeling about ourselves, or it is a merciless mirror about ourselves, our habitual attitudes, and the wonderful feelings we have about what's in front of us. Okay, so that's one of the things we talk about a lot here on Wednesdays, and I'm going into it a little bit here today as well. And lastly is gratitude. I think I've saved the best for last, and I spin a lot about attitude, but gratitude is huge. One of the grandest rules, and I've said this in a previous podcast, right, is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And there's the platinum rule, do unto others as they would like have done unto them, right? That's all about gratitude. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more you have to express gratitude for. I gotta say that again. The more you have, the more that you express gratitude for what you have, the more you're going to have to express gratitude for. It's really this simple. You're never going to find a happy person that isn't grateful. I have not come across one yet in almost 50 years of life. Okay, so gratitude, ladies and gentlemen, is a marvelous place to start. And guess what? It has a huge positive impact on your attitude. Expressing gratitude for what you have versus whining about what you're lacking. I don't have this, or I don't have that. Keeps you focused on the positive. And if you balance out all 5 of these pentatudes, you're not going to be so focused on the positive that you're not being real. You're going to see the obstacles. You're just not going to magnify them, right? You're going to have that latitude to dream, all right? Remaining on the positive side of positivity, right? I guess it's kind of redundant, impacts all the other 4 walls of your success pentatude. So as we all teach our children, what are those magic words? Please and thank you. Gratitude. You are a wondrous, breathing, thinking, walking, running, self-actualizing creature, aren't you? Yes, you are. That's why you're sitting here listening to Tracy babble on for almost 15 minutes. So what you need to do is take some time, sit down, and ponder all the wonders that you already have in your life and how you can build upon them, right? Do you have any great relationships? One. Do you have one best friend that you're able to talk to? Most of us do. At least one. Right? If nothing else, look at your hand. Right? Move your fingers. Wow. All the magnificent things that go into that hand just being able to move your fingers. That is fascinating. That is something to be grateful for. Now take that hand, pick up a pen, and write down what other things you're grateful for. So I want you to use the 5 walls of your pentatude to build and secure your growth, your health, your happiness, your success in your relationships, in your personal and professional lives. But you got to sit down and review your current walls. You got to look at all 5 of them. If you find any holes or weakening structures or bowing sections in your pentatude, you got to give them some focus, right? Write down, ooh, I need to focus a little more on my gratitude, or I got to focus a little bit more on my attitude, right? Pop of my neck. I can't focus on my attitude. I got to look at my latitude. I got to learn to dream bigger, right? Make your pentatude a part of who you are. It already is there. You're just not focusing on it. So that's why I try to share these little things, these little tips and little techniques for you to think about them, right? If you focus on this pentatude and make it a part of who you are, it's going to do wonders for moving you towards your desires, your dreams, and as I mentioned earlier, that major definite purpose. Now, before I leave you today, I don't want to forget your question of the day, and this kind of goes along with your pentatude. And today's question, if you remember from last week, how are you using your talents? Do you have a talent for speaking? Do you have a talent for teaching children? That's a gift. There are I've met some teachers over the years with my girls that you just look at them and say, wow, you're amazing. I want you to follow my daughter around the rest of her life to teach her you're that good. What are your talents? Everyone's got some talent. And if you don't know what your talents are, ask your friends. Trust me, they know. You may be so used to them that you don't realize how good you are at them. Is there something they keep coming to you for? Ask them, right? And here's a great way to do it. Write down all the things you're talented about. Set it aside. And then go ask 3 trusted people, right? Not just friends and family, but maybe it's a boss or an employee, someone that you know is going to give you an honest opinion. Ask them, and then match the 2 lists up. And those that you believe in and those they believe in definitely are talents. And the other ones are ones that are hidden talents, right? They may see things and you're like, oh, you're an Excel guru or whatever. But how are you now? Now that you know what they are, the question becomes, how are you using them? How are you using them to move you forward? How are you honing them? All right? So think about that. Think about your pentatudes. And we'll get together tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about, what are we talking about tomorrow, Tracy? Oh, well, I know what we're talking about. We're going to talk about dealing with failure, right, on Winning Attitude Wednesday. And, of course, on Thursday, we're going to go to those 3 fundamental tenets of success. We got a bunch of numbers going on this week. And then, of course, we're going to finish off finally Goals Friday with setting goals, making them challenging and achievable. But until then, I will wish you my usual think successfully and take action. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.